So on this video, I want to combine all the things we had to worry about. There's a negative sign, there is parentheses, there's a fraction, and there's a decimal. So don't get overwhelmed. You can still do this one step at a time. The first thing I have to worry about is reverse order of operations. So I want to do addition or subtraction first, but that's inside of parentheses. So then I have to either distribute this or leave it for last. And I'm going to leave it for last because that's the way I like to do it. Okay. And also, I think it'll be easier with this case because multiplying the fraction times the decimal will probably drive me crazy. So anyways, I'm going to get rid of the 5/4 first because if I have nothing to add or subtract, since that's inside of parentheses, the next step is multiplication or division in reverse order. And so I have to do that. That is the thing that I have to get rid of. Notice, by the way, that I'm not even worried about the left side because the variable is on the right side. So it's not always working with the left side. You work with the side where the variable is. And I have to get rid of either the 1.2 or the 5/4. But the 1.2 is inside of parentheses. So like I just said, it goes last. So anyways, the 5/4. How do I get rid of a fraction? By multiplying by its inverse, right? And so there's a negative 5/4. The inverse of that is negative 4/5. And I'm going to do that to both sides. Notice the negative has to be included because I'm trying to get rid of negative 5/4, not 5/4. And so I have to include the negative in order to get rid of it. You got to change the color here because it's not picking. The camera's not picking up the green that I wrote with for some reason. All right, let's try that. Camera is color blind apparently. All right. So I multiply that by the opposite fraction, right? The 4/5. And if I multiply both sides of the equation by that, not just one side. Okay. So now that I've done that to both sides, I can resolve this first step. Well, negative 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. So on this side right here, 20 over 20 is 1. The fraction cancels out. That's why I like multiplying by its inverse because it's easy. You get rid of the fraction in one step. And then I have to operate the other side, right? 20 divided by 5, that's 4, right? So if I do 20 and 5, you can do 4 times. And then negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. So now I have my answer for the left side. And then I am on the right side, I got rid of everything except the stuff that was in the parentheses. So I still have the x minus 1.2. All right, so how do we get rid of a 1.2? I don't freak out. It's okay. It's just a decimal. And it's a 1.2, and it's being subtracted. So that means I have to add 1.2 to both sides. That is the opposite of subtracting, right? And so when I do that, these will cancel out. And then I have just x on this side. And then 16 negative plus 1.2. Pull out a calculator if you have to. That's okay. But that should come out to 14.8. I know, Mel. The dog thinks it's overwhelming. I agree. But that is our final answer. We got it. Negative 14.8. And if we try that, it should work when we try to plug it back into a problem, which I'm not going to try right now. But don't be worried about the challenge. I know, Mel. It's so hard. It's okay. Most problems won't be nearly this bad on the test. It will just be the regular stuff you can find in the practice, that you can find in Moby Max, that you can find in Khan Academy. But I just wanted to give you a challenge, just like I did in the meet today for the people that stayed. So that's it, guys. That's the two-step equation business. Most of them are going to be very simple. They're going to be things like 2x minus 2x plus 3 equals 8, right? And so you start with the 3, subtract 3 from both sides, right? And then that gives you 5 on this side, and the 3's cancel out. Now you have negative 2x equals 5. Got to get rid of the 2 next. It's multiplying the x, so I have to divide both sides by 2. All right, and then the 2's cancel out. Oh, not 2. It's a negative 2, so I have to include the negative when I divide both sides by it. Very good. To caught that, Mr. Lima. So x is all there's left on that side, and this side is going to be negative 2.5. And you can use a calculator if you have to. Then you get this negative 2.5. You plug into the original problem. If it comes out both sides the same, you know you got it right. Two-step equations is not the monster you think it is. You can do it. I can help. See you in office hours if you have any problems. Don't do anything that would make your mama proud. I'll see you next week.